Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing good. I want to help you with the test, especially some questions which have a two-step process. So I'm here in the assignment called Mixed Mole Practice. This has many questions which are two steps. So for that, I'm going to talk about this question number 9. Although I have done it in steps, but talking about it hopefully would help. So the question says, how many grams of methane are in 2 liters tank of methane at STP? There are so many words and vocabulary in here that does not make any sense, but you should focus on the units. They are looking for grams and they gave us liters. Now, what do we need to do? How do we proceed? Whether we multiply or divide, and if we multiply or divide by what number? Those are so many questions that we need help with. So the help is on the roadmap. And I would like you to take a look at this roadmap. Hopefully you can see my screen. Um, this is the roadmap that I was talking about. In this roadmap, you would see three categories: mass, particles, volume. And the same categories are on the right hand side: mass, particles, and volume. Mass is measured in grams. Remember, our question was talking about grams. Particles, what are particles? Now, on my handwriting down here, the particles could be atoms. The question will say that atoms, find molecules, find ions, find formula units. Ions is one word and formula units is another. So these are different units that the question would be talking about. STP is abbreviation of standard temperature and pressure. You can ignore that in the question. Avogadro's number is right here in the calculations. What is Avogadro's number? You are familiar with it. It is equal to 1 mole, which is equal to 6.02 times 10 to the power 23. This is a big exponential number that is equal to Avogadro's number. Molar mass is something you find on the periodic table. So no need to memorize. All this information is in front of you. You can use it during your test to solve any questions or any other assignment. One more thing about the roadmap, it only goes one way. Roadmap is where you travel from your starting point to your destination. You go only from left to right. You cannot go backwards. So even the arrows are pointing in this direction, but really you cannot travel from moles to volume and from left to right. You have to go this way. If you look at the arrow, it tells you the direction. So I'm going to shrink it a little bit so I can have the assignment on the other side and this roadmap on one side. So when I talk about the roadmap, you can see it, and when I talk about the question, that is also in front of you. So I'm going to do it in a split screen. um, so we have our question, how many grams? That is our destination. This is where we are trying to reach. That's what they are trying to ask us. The unit that is given to us is liters, 2 liters. This is our starting point. This is where we begin our question. So let's go back to the roadmap. Liters, which is given, that should be our starting point on the left because we have to go from left to right. So we have to start at liters and we have to end at mass. So which category does liters belong to? Mass, particles, or volume? Liters, I see, if you magnify it liters is volume. So we are here and they want us to go to grams. Grams is the category that involves mass. So from mass cannot be on this side. We have to travel from left to right. So I see a mass category right here. So how do we travel? Let's look at the lines that connect. Liters is connecting to moles. Everybody has to go through the moles because that is a connecting word. That is another unit that you have to turn it into. So that is one calculation. It says here divide. So whenever you are going from volume to moles, particles to moles, mass to moles, the big divide sign is right here. So first step is going to be division. Once you reach here, the right hand side is multiplication. So the mole is connecting to mass on this line and it tells you what numbers to multiply with. So first step is division. The second step is going to be multiplication. So what do? We start with 2 liters and we divide it. What do we divide with? If you take a close look on my screen, it says here divide by 22.4 liters. So I'm going to use the given value 2 liters. First step, 2 liters, you divide that by 22.4 liters and you have traveled this line volume to moles and you have reached moles, your answer is 0.09 moles. What did you do? You divided the given value by 22.4 because the roadmap is telling us to do that, and you reached moles. Now, is this our answer? Moles. Did they ask for moles? No, they asked for grams. So we continue our journey. Now moles has to lead us from left to right because we can only go in this direction. We cannot go this way. We have to go this way. So going this way means moles to mass you multiply. So you already have 0.09 moles right here, 0.09 moles. And from here you multiply with the molar mass. Molar mass is not a fixed number because every time you will be given a new molecule. Like in this question, you have as CH4 as your molecule. So you have to go to the periodic table, find the mass of carbon, and add 4 times the mass of hydrogen, which I have shown it here. Carbon, the mass is 12 from the periodic table. Some of you might remember that number. Hydrogen has a mass of 1. Some of you might remember that number too. Hydrogen is 1, but I'm multiplying it with 4 because the formula says H4, CH4. So H is 4, not C, just H is 4. So C12 plus hydrogen, 1 times 4, that equals 16. 12 plus 4, 16. So the second step, back here again, moles to mass, you multiply the given moles, 0.09 moles, by 16. So here I'm multiplying 0.09 moles and 16, and I reached mass. So what this roadmap is doing for us, it's making the decision whether to divide, what to divide with, and where to begin and where to end. If it's a one-step problem, that means the question is asking about moles. You're always dividing to get moles. If the moles are given and they ask for any category, mass, particles, or volume, you multiply. So either you divide or multiply in a one-step process. In a two-step process, you will always begin with the division and end the second process with multiplication. You can just reuse this roadmap for every single question. I'm gonna make another video to solve another question just to reduce the length of the video and uploading speeds and all that. I hope this helped. Thanks.